Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I'm Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 3 crazy rescue dogs, who likes to craft in her spare time, has gone back to school to become an ASL interpreter, and is training for Ironman when she's not sick. For those of you who are new here, welcome. Welcome to my crazy world. Let's just start it off. That's cutting to the chase. Welcome to my crazy world. If you're returning, welcome back to the crazy world. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. It sends me a note. It boosts my self-esteem. And I could use that. Okay, so please forgive me right now. I am very sick. I do not have COVID. We do know that it is likely the flu on top of a sinus infection. And yeah, I am just all sorts of gorgeous. So, what have I been doing? Sign of the day. I didn't think. Not smart. I'm tired. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'll do 2 signs of the day next week. Actually, it should be sign of the week. I didn't plan. Sorry. Oh, here we go. Oxygen mask. Oxygen mask. That's their sign of the week. Oxygen mask. I have been doing the nebulizer, my inhaler, Hall's cough drops, and Dayquil. And yeah, I'm all sorts of sexy. Okay, so in this last week, it has been an adventure. I had last week off, as most of you know. However, I did start the class. I didn't really end up with a week off. So I ended up with Monday off. And Tuesday, I woke up and registered. I was the last person admitted into the class to become a state certified mediator for family law. So I have been in class 1 to 5 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of last week. That will be the case all of this month. Then I have to do, so then I can do mediation. I'll be certified in the state of Michigan to do mediation. If I want to do it where I'm court appointed, where I'm on like the circuit court appointing roster, I have to do where I observe 2 mediations. And then I have to facilitate one where I am supervised, like observed. So that will be the next step. That will not happen this month. I mean, the class, I'll finish with the class, but I won't do the observations this month. There's no way to do that. So that will be a next month sort of thing. Maybe actually a July thing. I don't know. I'll be honest. So this week I start my classes at college. I only have 2 classes, so I will finish my mediation class at 5, and then I have to drive across town to Highland Lake campus on both Wednesday and Thursday night for my 2 classes there. You know, just when I think I'm going to take something off my plate, I don't. We all know. It's gotten to be a freaking joke. So I don't even say that anymore. I don't even say I'm going to take. And in fact, in counseling the other day, she's like, okay, and we now refer to it as Kelly's platter. I don't have a plate. I have a platter. Because they're always like, take something off your plate. I have a platter. And so I think I shared this with you guys last week. The goal now is if I add something to my platter, I also have to add something just kind of equal that will kind of balance it out. So equally as relaxing, equally as like time for me. Yeah. Y'all, I don't know. It is what it is. So, yeah. So, what did I do this last week as I added on this mediation class, which is, quite a bit, because sometimes we even have homework. Um, I, hang on one second. I have to return a text message. So what did I do? I'm gonna count this. So I'm counting this as a self-care sort of thing. Um, I got to Zoom with Amy. For those of you who don't know Amy, she is on FlossTube here on YouTube. She goes by Creativity by Gidge. Amy and I have a love of huge fabrics. Um, and the bigger the fabric, the better in some ways. We don't shy away from our big fabrics that you have to like unravel. Um, so it's kind of a joke with us, and we love that. So I got to actually Zoom with her the other night, and it was really like, thank you, Amy. I loved our conversation, and we absolutely need to schedule more time where we do that. Be it we just practice our signing with each other, or I don't know, whatever. We could stitch together. I don't care like what we do. We could just sit and drink coffee together. I'm fine with that too. Um, just yeah. So that was very cool. So that was my pampering thing. I have not been working out. I have been too sick. My coach is just like, you can't hardly breathe. We do not want you in the pool at that point. Like that's just not. If you could bike, great, but really and truly, you just need to be resting. And honestly, most days I end up taking a nap. For this last couple of days, it hit me hard. Um, it started to hit. I've been sick, but we thought it was just a sinus infection. But whatever this added bug is, been started to hit me Saturday, and really hit me hard on Sunday. So I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I actually, yeah. So, anyways, what have I been doing? Um, well, I've been in class, and I've been trying to get things um at the firm catching up, and I have been successful in getting several things taken care of. I've always got a stack of work at the office, let's be honest. Clearly, I did not paint the wall. The boy has not done the dishes. The girl child told me tonight she's so fed up with it, she's actually going to do the dishes tomorrow, even though it's not her turn. And I have to admit, like, if I'm feeling better, I will probably help her in the morning, before I have to join my class. Because my class, actually, it's interactive for parts of it. And y'all, okay, I thought we were going to change the subject from this class. They need to offer this class, I think, in different, I mean, in some ways it's good that we're there with non-lawyers as well. But at the same time, I'm like, no, you have to go over that. Like, you have to, if you're going to mediate family law, yes, part of it should be common sense kind of things. Like, how does that look? Like, really, you want 50-50, but you work 70 hours a week. How is that going to look? Um, or did you, like, has anybody run the numbers, like, for child support or for the possibility of alimony? Alimony is not a set formula here in Michigan. There's some guidelines, but there's nothing set in stone, like, hey, this is what gets it. Um, and so having to, like, sit through, like, explaining this, I gotta admit, I'm a little bored at times. I'm a little bored. And then I actually had an interesting debate with the person leading the class, because she said, and I was surprised, she said, well, if you have, like, parents of an infant, and mom is still breastfeeding, then dad's only going to be able to have the baby for short times, and certainly no overnights. Like, that's just not feasible. And I raised my hand and I was like, she can she can pump. I'm like, and she goes, well, that's really inconvenient. And I'm like, so and I get it. It is, because I pumped for 9 months for twins. And I get it. Like, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, like, those months are so important for that child to bond with both parents, that's not a good enough excuse to like automatically write off the idea of more parenting time for dad. Like, you can't just write it off like it's an automatic done deal. Is it a factor that she's breastfeeding? Absolutely. Is it the only factor? Absolutely not. And I don't want a bunch of non-lawyers who, thinking that is like the guideline. That's not a guideline. That's a personal bias. So yeah, so uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Because Kelly can't keep her mouth shut. I have a feeling my sign name is going to end up being like the K. See, if you do this, it's the witch word, but with a B. I have a feeling mine's going to be something like that. And I don't mean it to be. The other thing is, the person leading it is actually the director of the Oakland Mediation Center here in Oakland County. And upon finding out that I was going back to school for ASL and that I have a long history of working with the education system, doing IEP and special ed law, has asked me if I will then take on and do the advanced training so that I can do mediation for schools. And so that is something that I am looking at doing, or will look at doing, but not in June. I really don't want to take on anything else in June. I don't know why. Like, I think I'm making too much out of StitchCon. Like, I know I'm going to be gone for, like, if my teacher lets me Zoom for class, which I don't know if he is or isn't. Right now it's set to be in person. If he does Zoom, then I can Zoom in Ohio. Like, who cares where I'm at? Like, I can Zoom from the beach as long as I got Wi-Fi. But if I have to go in person, I'm not going to get to StitchCon until Friday afternoon, realistically, because I'll leave Friday morning. It's a couple hour drive to StitchCon, to that part of Ohio. I think I have to get on the turnpike. I haven't even looked at directions. I got partnered up. I am going to roommate with somebody I've never met. I've had a 5-minute conversation with her, but whatever. Again, if I get the feeling she's going to stab me in the middle of the night, I will make other arrangements. But I don't get that vibe from her so far, so we're good. Okay. So anyways, I may not get to SitchCon weekend B until Friday afternoon. But whatever, like, it's all good. It's all good. Any time away, like, it's all good. I'm gonna stay with her. She got a room at the Holiday Inn. Apparently that's by the La Quinta, but I don't really know because I haven't Googled it yet. I don't know. I'm a hot mess. Okay. But welcome to my hot messness. I think most people tune into my channel just to feel better, like that they're not as crazy because they have their shit more together than I do. And that's okay. I'm glad that I provide that for your self-esteem. I'm more than happy to. So, because I've had this class, because I have been working as much as I can, and to be fair, I've also been napping and resting because I've been sick. And I want to get better because I want to be able to swim. I want to do swim the moon in August. Sorry. It hurts. Like, I feel like somebody is sitting on my chest. And so every once in a while, even though I'm doing the breathing treatments and everything, I actually have not stitched a whole lot. What I have been doing, I cut out, and I have my little note. Believe it or not, I do make notes. See this? I make notes. I worked on a bunch of stuff for Hillbilly Candle Company. I think I mentioned that last week. I worked on some more stuff. I have a big box. I'm hoping to get to the post office tomorrow. But I have to go in the morning because I have class from 1 to 5. Yeah. Oh, I told you guys I made the dean's list, right? I did tell you that? Like, yeah. Okay. So I cut out project bags. I had a big stack of stuff on my desk or on my table, and I was like, okay. So Bean has asked me if starting soon she can kind of work on her classwork out here with me, that may help her be able to focus and concentrate on some things. And then because she's a little bit behind me in the program, I would be able to help her. So I'm more than willing to help my daughter with her learning and her practice. So I had to clear out, I need to make space for her on my table. Plus it's like my table is crazy. So I have this big stack of fabric that I was going to work on project bags. So this weekend for like dapping, I cut out 37 project bags, the fabric part. I still need to get more vinyl because I've been doing the vinyl front ones. Like this. And I need to get a little bit more of the fusible batting to be able to sew them. I've also been, and it's way too big to show you guys, but a friend of mine from my twins club from back when okay, my twins are older, and I was on our board for like 9 years, I think, maybe a little bit. I'm like the longest board member ever in our twins club. She contacted me, and she has this quilt. It's not really a quilt. It's this blanket, and the blanket is falling apart. The fabric is it's so dusty, you guys. I don't know how to make it so that it doesn't smell like dust. Which, believe it or not, I could smell. I could smell through all of this, which is just crazy. So I have been working on sewing it by hand, trying to piece it back together where essentially the fabric has worn so thin. Let me see if I can get a chunk where I can show you what's going down. People, okay, if you quote, you'll know. Bobby will understand this. Okay, so the quilt is so old. Look at this. Yeah. So I have to go. So what I've been trying to do is kind of go in. The problem is you have to. So then it's creating these little puckers because there's no other way to do it. They're just that I know of. So if somebody knows a better way of doing this, that's great. So I've been trying to, I'm going to start lining it with interfacing, actually, with iron-on interfacing, I think, to give it just a little bit more substance because it's like tissue paper thin. And I feel like every time I close up one hole, another one opens. So that has been my mission because ideally, so what happened apparently is that the sister or the sister-in-law said she didn't want it anymore, and my friend took it and was going to kind of use it to make it into something else. And now the sister or the sister-in-law wants it back, but there's all these holes in it that weren't necessarily there before. So I'm trying to repair it so that she can return it to the sister-in-law. Now, ideally, that would be done before the end of this month. So that has become my, sorry, cough drop. Anybody need a cough drop? I got cough drops. I actually put in a shipped order just for cough drops. I mean, I got other stuff too, but really and truly, that was the final kicker. Because I was like, I'm not going in the store if I don't have to, feeling like this. I'm also highly itchy lately. To the point where I had to take, like my skin is so sensitive, I took off my my road ID bracelet. So we gotta hope I don't get in an accident where they have to identify me because I don't have it on. And up until today, when I took it off, actually last night, or yesterday. The only other time it's come off in the last several years is for surgeries. They get really funny. You can't wear it when you're having brain surgery. So I've been working on that. Like I said, it smells musty. But there's no way in hell I'm washing it. Because it will just, it's gonna fall apart. This is, yeah. And I've said something to my friend. She's like, we've got to fix it. Let her deal with it once she washes it and falls apart. I'm like, okay. So that has been, so that and cutting out the fabric has been a bulk of my time. The only other thing, so I have my two main projects right now. I'm still trying to do Whipco. I may have to slowly catch up as time goes on. I've come to terms with that. It finally gelled in my brain, and I got my brain wrapped around it that all of my goals are yearly goals. And some of my goals, I have a couple more that I think may still end up being finishes with the 10 days, maybe even before that. I don't know. But I'm gonna swap out the knit sock, I think, for this quilt project this month, and then on another month I'll get to the sock. I want the sock done this year. So, that said, I have gotten a little bit more stitching done on Marine Corps emblem. This is a goal for the year to get done. This needs to be done. Excuse me. This is for my friend's husband, who is a retired Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, but he is a retired Marine. We are slowly working our way. It's getting there. It's one that's, you've got to be very diligent about marking and crossing off on your pattern, or it's a big circle, and if you're not careful, I mean, we all know what the Marine Corps emblem is, right? It's not like there's no section in here where you can just be like absent-mindedly stitching. There's absolutely none. It's crazy. So this one just takes a lot of brain power. It's not like if I put in 10 days on pandemic right now, I could do 10 days where honestly I don't count anything, because I'm doing the fill in the negative spaces as well. So I could just put in 10 days filling in the blue on mine. And it total not an absorbing brain power sort of thing. But Marine Corps emblem takes a lot of focus and concentration. Okay, so the other one that I did, the new drop came out for the Frosted Pumpkin Under the Sea Club. I love this one, you guys. This is so, I love this one. So the second part is this cute little scuba girl and a stingray and some angelfish. The little girl is scuba diver, is charted. She's super cute. She's a little African American girl. And I will admit, I want my people in my chart to reflect my family. So she is not African American. She's not going to be African American in my family or in my stitch. She's adorable, but if she's supposed to be me, scuba diving, or my family, it's not going to be. So I have got in this little wave, and I got her ponytail in. I did put gold Krynic. Why? Well, no, because my mermaid's hair is glittery, and my fabric is glittery, and I like glitter. So I started putting in her hair. It's brown and gold Krynic. In person, it's really gold. which is weird because in here there's like sections that it's more of the brown that I picked. I did change, I think it's supposed to be like an orange color headband. Mine's like this bright pink. Because, okay, in all honesty, because that's what I had in my little bag that I had pulled for another part of the project. I think it was from the mermaids. I don't know. It's another color that's used in the chart, and I was just too lazy to go and find the other color, the color orange that it's called for. There's the honest God's truth. It has nothing to do with me wanting to do a conversion on the orange hair tie. It's more than I'm lazy, or I thought I had it in my box, but I don't, and I didn't want to go buy one at this point. So, my goal in this next week is to get this part done. To get my little scuba girl, the other waves of the ocean, like the water waves, or is that seaweed? I think it's water waves. And my little fishies and my stingray. I am at day, I think I have 5 or 6 days now done on Marine Corps emblem. So if all works out, this next day I'll have that whip go gold done. And I'll have my stitch for the month for my part done for the Sal and the Beast. Hopefully. Done. I'm not guaranteed. Hopefully it'll be a lot closer. Let's put it that way. There's some pretty big holes in it. So, I don't think I'm going to, I have my sewing machine setting on the floor here. I don't know that I'm going to pull it back to the table quite yet. I have a couple more fabric pieces for project bags to cut out. Like I said, I have to get the other batting and the vinyl. But again, I don't want to be around large groups of people or even small groups of people while I'm still feeling like this. I'm really hoping, like I said, I have class on Wednesday night. It's supposed to be in person. So I'm really hoping I'm better, substantially better before Wednesday. And once I get the other bags cut out and ready to like chainsaw, and then I've got a couple shirts that I want to cut out for me and shirts and leggings for the girl child for Bean. What I'll likely do is just sit one day and just, actually it's probably a weekend's worth of sewing that I've got cut out, but I do that. Like, so, there's that. My other pieces, oh, the boy child did decide that doing like an off-white background for his Monopoly board is absolutely fine. So I have to cut the fabric from my bigger yardage of fabrics for that. And so those are my goals, is to cut the fabric so that I can start doing that. Yeah, I don't know. I have lofty goals. In all honesty, I have lofty goals. And I did make a huge decision. I think I have narrowed down the graduate program that I am looking at. So if anybody has any information or feedback about the George Washington University in Washington, D.C. and their School of Public Health, if you could let me know, because I am seriously looking at their program. And yeah, I've met with their recruiter person. And yeah, so that said, I'm just going to go on record. Look, I live in Michigan. We're a pro-camping state. Our governor is all about protecting those of you who need to go camping. So if you need to go camping and you live in a state that does not allow camping, please reach out to me on Instagram. I'm His Princess Callie. Or you can reach out to me on Facebook or whatever. And just let me know that you need to go camping. You can come camping. I'll make sure you're all set to go camping here in Michigan. And we don't ever have to talk about camping while you're here. But if you need to go camping, let me know. And if you know, you know. So, um, those of you who are not pro camping need to still be very aware, understand that if you are found guilty of some of these states now, with some of these laws that have triggered with the overturning of the national camping referendum, it's now a felony. Do you know what you can't do if you're a felon? You can't vote. You can't vote. Felons don't get the right to vote in the United States. Yeah. The other thing, for those of us who are attorneys, not only when we apply to sit for a bar exam do we have to go through clearance, and you have to declare every misdemeanor, every speeding ticket, everything to the ethics committee. If while you are an attorney, you get charged with a misdemeanor or a felony, you have to then declare that. And the board, our bar, state bars, have committees. And most felons don't get to keep their law licenses. In fact, I don't know any felon that has gotten to keep their law license. So if that doesn't give you another reason to kind of pause. The other thing is, in reading the anti-camping opinion, and some of the trigger laws and things that are coming out of that, we may be losing a lot more than just the right to camp. Some states are including no more infertility treatments like IVF, and things like that. So it's kind of scary. But again, if you need to come camping and your state doesn't allow camping, let me know. Let me know. And with that, I'm going to let you go. And I hope you guys have a good week. I'm going to go to sleep because I'm exhausted. And yeah.